Hello, I'm Kate Driver, naturopath and women's health coach. Thank you so much for listening today. Today I'm talking about estrogen dominance. If you are over 40, then you are probably very likely to have estrogen dominance. Now, women's hormones fluctuate all through their lives, and a lot of women can be estrogen dominant earlier than age of 40, obviously. And the symptoms that these women get would be fibroids, endometriosis. They might have weight gain, depression, moodiness, terrible PMS or PMT symptoms before their period, heavier periods, painful periods. But after the age of 40, it can be similar, but it can be exacerbated. After the age of 40, women that have never had estrogen dominance can actually start getting estrogen dominance. And one reason for this is because the other hormone, progesterone, which should be in a normal ratio with estrogen, actually reduces quite rapidly after the age of 40. And then we become estrogen dominant. So some of the estrogen dominance symptoms and signs over the age of 40 are worsening of your PMS or PMT symptoms. And this can be just before your period. You get headaches, moodiness, fluid retention, breast tenderness, anxiety, cravings for sugar or other particular foods, or just wanting to eat more, and you just feel irritable and moody. Or you can actually get those symptoms all the time, every day of the month, and that can be very debilitating because people just feel irritable, and I've seen many of my patients like that. And other symptoms can be heavier periods than you've normally had. All of a sudden you can get heavier and painful periods, and maybe more frequent. Maybe you had a 30 to 30 day cycle before, and now it's 25 to 26 days or 21 to 25 days. If it's more frequent, then it's very likely that you're becoming estrogen dominant. And normally your periods would get heavier and more painful. And then you would suffer a lot more fluid retention, headaches around or after or during a period, and you get breast tenderness as well. Now, estrogen dominance can suppress thyroid function, so some other symptoms and signs can be weight gain, low or poor immunity, so you're getting everything that's going around. You get sick really more often than you normally would have. Low thyroid function because of this estrogen dominance can also cause depression and anxiety and problems with sleeping. And women in perimenopause, a long time before they go through menopause, can actually start getting the night sweats or hot flushes. But most commonly it's the night sweats and sleeping problems. So you might start getting insomnia where you're just not going to sleep easily, or you're waking up a lot and you're lying in bed thinking, why am I like this? And that can be because of this progesterone deficiency, which makes you estrogen dominant. And progesterone helps us with our sleep cycle. So, other symptoms can be things like brain fog. I think I mentioned depression. And some women actually get more common thrush-like symptoms, vaginal thrush or oral thrush, or fungal infections. It can be in the scalp. You might get sort of dandruff and itchy scalp. Or you might get like fungal toenails or fingernails, or fungal sort of like eczema rashes more easily. Or you maybe, you're reacting to those sort of fermented and fungus foods, which are things like mushrooms, soy sauce, vinegars, and all those fermented prebiotic foods that everybody's eating now. So these are just some of the signs. There's so many more. But estrogen dominance is definitely on the rise because we get exposed to so many different chemicals nowadays. And these chemicals actually mimic our estrogen that we produce in our body. So the more chemicals we get exposed to, the more likelihood we're going to become estrogen dominant. And especially as we age, because our body does not detoxify and mobilize these toxins as efficiently as we did when we were younger. So there's that double whammy. It happens naturally as we age, before menopause, that we become estrogen dominant. But if we don't also get it, metabolize these toxins, And, so what we need to do is look at avoiding them as much as possible. So that can be anything from skincare to hair care to the toxins and chemicals that you get exposed to with like car fumes around your house with cleaning products and fly sprays. And plastic, you might use cling wrap and plastic containers and plastic drinking water bottles, just to name a few. So that is one step to look at to avoid the things that actually can increase and exacerbate the estrogen dominance that you may already be prone to because you're over 40. Then you need to really look after your gut health or your digestive health. Some of you may have heard me talk about the estrogen before. So this is a subset of bacteria in our digestive system that helps us get rid of and excrete the bad estrogens and the excess estrogen. So what we need to look at doing is having lots of good fibrous foods in our diet, mostly from vegetables and salad sort of vegetables, and have like 5 or 6 servings of those a day. They can include things like nuts and seeds as well. That will help our bowels have a small regular bowels, but also help our bowels get rid of the excess estrogens. And then you can take a probiotic to increase that good bacteria. The fibre in those foods, in the vegetables, will actually help us produce our good bacteria in our bowels, but then we also may like to speed up the process and help it along a bit by taking a probiotic in a supplement form. And by the way, just a hint, don't get the shelf-stable ones that aren't refrigerated because they're pretty terrible. So try and get one that you need to store in the fridge because bacteria should stay cold. Take one of those daily, and that will restore the good bacteria in your gut to help you then excrete the excess bad estrogens that we get exposed to. And we all do, so this is always a good thing to just take all the time, so it helps us eliminate more efficiently. And 80% of our immune system is reliant on healthy gut bacteria, so it helps your immune system also. So, and then the other thing is to look after your liver by having similar things like the high fibre foods, bitter foods, which help stimulate the production of bile. And our bile is a substance produced by the liver that helps us bind to toxins and things like estrogens. It's stored in the gallbladder, but it's produced by the liver. So liver and gallbladder foods are bitter foods. And you can even have lemon juice in water all day, as long as you rinse in between, so it's not breaking down the enamel on your teeth because it's very acidic. Or you just have it first thing in the morning and last thing at night in warm water, because lemon is very stimulating to the bile production. Dandelion root tea is wonderful. And bitter foods like rocket and kale and olives. Oh my God, who doesn't like olives? So these things help us produce more bile from our liver also. If you would like to learn more, then please join me on my next live webinar, which is coming up very soon. The link is below, and I'd love you to join me so we can chat more about this. You can ask me questions live, and I will go more into depth about how to look after your hormones, get them back to be in wonderful harmony so they're all humming along like a lovely orchestra, and you don't have to suffer any of these terrible symptoms, whether it be before 40, after 40, during perimenopause or menopause. You really should fly through these periods of your life. And hormones change, sure, but you shouldn't have to have these unwanted and debilitating symptoms. So the link is below. Thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll hear and see you very soon. Bye for now.